All right, all right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Coffee and Craps with John here. I'm back. Nice little trip over the weekend there. We missed yesterday's show, of course, but we were traveling. Good. Like I told you last week, we had a wedding to go to. It was awesome. My son's best friend got married. It was cool. It was down in Arizona by Camelback Mountain. Beautiful scenery, crazy weather. We came down. I was down there. The day I got there, there was a thunderstorm that rolled through. We had hail and everything else. It was insane. In Arizona. Of course, I bring the Seattle rain with me down there, but it was cool. A good weekend. Didn't play. I was going to go to Talking Stick, but it didn't work out. We were partying too much, and it didn't work out to go there. Next trip down, I'll get down and play some actual craps in Arizona the next time I head down. But anyway, we're back. We're back, and there's things going on. Let's take a look at what's happening here in our little corner of the world. So, Friday Night Fights is coming up. We got Colonel Potter, the other Vince, taking on Jeff from Mid-Atlantic Craps this Friday. Potter did a good job last week. It was a really good match, held off Alfredo, and he rolls on. He's the three-peat guy. He rolls on. He plays Jeff this coming Friday rather, at 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern. Tonight, Battle Royale. With the Battle Royale, it's 6 o'clock tonight Pacific time. It's going to be obviously Chiro and Chris playing for their round 4, playing for all the marbles. I forget what the strategy for tonight is, but there's been some talk about this. I saw this in the Discord yesterday about the dark side round, and there was some confusion about that. And here's the deal: when we do these rounds with these guys, it's very important. Excuse me. That they stick to the kind of the way of the day, in other words. And what I mean by that is we wanted to not just have them play craps 5 times and see who's gets lucky, right? It was really about, let's do your best hybrid style of play, light side and dark side mixed, hedging bets, that kind of thing. Your best right side style play. So no lay bets, just get out there and work the box, work your props, work your hops, do your thing. Show us how well you can work the trend of the table on the right side. The dark side was the same thing. We said no place bets in that one. They could do prop bets. You can hop things to kind of get your come out set or whatever else, but there's no like place betting. It's not designed to let them place bet. We wanted to see who could ride the rhythm of the 7 the best, and that's why we did it that way. There was and again I can go more into detail about that, but the idea is to see who's the most well-rounded player by forcing them to play all light, all dark, all hybrid, King of the Mountain style, whatever it's going to be. That was the idea, was to let them really assert themselves in different play styles. It's almost like the decathlon, right, in the Olympics. Like you do all the different disciplines, and your sum total is your overall score. That's how we did it with these guys. So that's why the dark side day, no place bets allowed. That's why the light side day, there was no lay bets really allowed. It was just, there's none of that. That's the reason. You are well-rounded, Chiro. I'm putting that up on screen for sure. You are well-rounded. But that's the reason why we do it this way. So I forget which one tonight is. You can look it up for me. I should have been more prepared, I guess. But tonight's battle is a different discipline. Then I think we do King of the Mountain style, and then we do the Casino Quest, whatever they want to do tonight. So yeah, that's it. So that's happened tonight. The exciting thing about tonight's game is that Alfredo from Texas Crap Shooters is going to be the dealer tonight. So I'm going to host it here on my channel. I'll run the production like I did before with Craig from Old Bay. So we'll have Alfredo's table in the window, his voice in your ears. I'm just going to be here pushing buttons and making sure that everything goes off smoothly. And we'll use kind of this as like the production studio, so to speak, which is kind of cool that we can do. Our software allows us to do it this way, which is kind of the neat thing. So that'll be fun, and we get to hang out with Alfredo even more tonight. That's gonna be great. Also of note, DGen, Chris from Dice DGen, his Daily Fantasy Domination live shows start tomorrow night. Now I will be adding a room in Discord today, so you guys can chat about DFS with each other in Discord. But his live show starts tonight. So if you're into DFS, don't understand DFS, want to do more with it, get your questions ready, and Chris will be around tomorrow night to do his presentation, which is like who he's picking, why he's picking them. He'll talk more about his software and all that kind of stuff, and then we can get some live Q&A going. So looking forward to that, because I know literally zero about DFS. We can't do it here in Washington or in Oregon. So for us, it's kind of it's a mystery world to a lot of us. So, but I know there's other parts of the country, it's huge. So, Chris, looking forward to seeing the live tonight. And what else is happening? Daily Paycheck's going on again. Let's take a look at some stats from the Paycheck. So the Paycheck last week did the come letter. I know Vince hates the come letter. Vince Armenti hates the come letter, and I get it. And I think Victor hates the come letter too because there's no odds on the numbers. Which, interestingly enough, the come letter won every single day last week. The day we didn't win, we lost $300. And I was out of time. We had to start this show here. We would have came back and won. That strategy just grinds and it wins, right? It just does its thing. It's not sexy. It's not a home run. It's a grinder. And like I said, most of my life has been as a grinder in this game. So that strategy sort of fits my personality and my style for the most part. And it wins. It did great last week. We won our 10%. We were up over 10%. We lost the last day to bring us down to earth. And that's what I see with that strategy. It's about a 91% winner in terms of go to the casino, hit your goal about 90% of the time. Now, when you don't hit your goal, you get whacked hard. $5,000 loss would be a lot. But generally speaking, that thing battles back really, really strongly. It's a good walk up, and it kind of proved that out last week. Now, this week, we're starting with another one, going to the wedge strategy. So today we won. We won 661 today. A little bit over our 10% goal, which was great. It took 18 rolls to get there. We did have 1-7 that hurt us. And when you see the wedge strategy, you'll notice the big difference in risk, right? Come ladder's $100, a couple $100, whatever. Your risk, but you're playing the pass line base, or the come or the pass line, depending on how you're doing it. You're playing that, and you're getting that house edge on those bets is helping you out in that strategy. The wedge. No help. There's no safety net. It's 750 out there, and it's like, you're off to the races with it, and you better be able to shoot. Now today I shot really good. I had 1-7 and 18 rolls, or actually two. One was a come out 7, one was a 7 out. It's rough, man. If you don't hit it, you're going down 750. You got to fight like the Dickens to get back to straight again. So, but it's fun if you can shoot. The wedge is a great. Walk up, get in, get out. It's a heavy hitter. At 750, the first 3 rolls, you make them, you're at $400 in profit, like out of the gate. So I like that part of it. But there's a huge risk to that thing. So Vince says we need to talk. I'm happy to talk about whenever you want to, buddy. It's like I said, it's not a home run strategy. It's not the greatest way. It's a way that I learned when I was. Yeah, you're saying. I agree and disagree with this. We're going to talk about it all day. Vince, all week. Actually, I want to talk about come bets, pass line bets, with and without odds all week long. The odds bets are great, and you'll see this in a minute. They're really, really good, depending on the circumstance. And the circumstance is how much money do you have, right? And I'll make the statement now, and I'll prove it to you later on. If you don't have the money to not play the odds, don't play that way, right? If you're going to play pass line or come bets, Molly type system, and you can't afford the odds, don't play that way, because those flat bets are some of the worst bets in the house. Now the come ladder is a whole strategy that plays that way on purpose, which I know I'm kind of being hypocritical there. I'll explain to you why in a little bit. I did see a question come through here, so hold on one sec. I'm just gonna, before I move on, make sure I didn't miss anything important here. Midmo Yo wants to know, are we keeping the all-in part tonight? Let's talk, you and me and Chris, about that. We started this year, and what he's asking about is this. They have a rule in the Battle Royale where, let me go back a couple screens here, where they have to go all in for one roll, right? Which is it's a weird rule. And last week, it's the reason why Chiro lost. He lost because his one all-in roll was when the 7 came, and he got his entire bankroll burned. Which is unfortunate. I didn't love the rule when we put it in there, and it proved out to be kind of it ends up being a lottery ticket, essentially, right? You're either going to be hero or zero on one roll, and it's not, to me, indicative of your style of play. So that told me nothing about you as a craps player, that other than you got unlucky for one roll. I don't like it. I will talk to Chris today about removing that requirement. I think it's a good thing to get out if we can do it. So I'm with you on that. I think it's not great. All right, let's see what else. Now I'm all out of sorts here. I know we got to talk about this. Our craps for the cure. Let's let's get a little bit of a quick session here on this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to run a whole show, probably tonight or tomorrow night, but tomorrow night most likely, because there's so much to talk about with this thing. And I don't want to take up the whole morning show with just this chatter, but there's a lot going on here, right? We know the dates, November 18th, 19th. Get your butts there, please. I'd love to see you all in person. It'd be great to do it. We talked to Ian Olson and I yesterday talked to David at Casino Quest for about a half an hour. So just kind of, line some things up. And if you've been to Casino Quest, this will make sense to you. So they have the two craps tables on the side and the one kind of on the end at the very back of the place. And there's like that table back there. That's where we're going to be. Our section is going to be that last table in the back of Casino Quest with the table. We'll have auction items and giveaways and food and drink and all the things there. That table's ours for 24 hours. David will be there dealing a lot of it. He's going to be helping us out. Dennis will be helping us out. Alex will be there helping us out. We have the whole crew. They're going to pop in and pop out all day long and sort of, they're going to bring us dealers. It's going to be a whole thing. It's going to be really, really amazing as we go through this thing. They're all in, helping us out. They're going to start advertising on their channel. We're going to get this thing pumped way up. You can expect from me, by the way, a sign-up sheet very, very soon. I'm going to put this together today if I can, where you're going to come in, name, email address, phone number, t-shirt size. Are you coming? What times do you prefer to be there? We can't have 60 people in there 24 hours. We can have 20 at a time. So rolling through the night. So if you want to come, we're going to want to know. And that's it. Rob Campbell says, will there be a schedule? Yes. The schedule is this right now. It is, it's 5 p.m. Friday, the 18th, all the way to 7 p.m. Saturday, the 19th. It'll be 26 hours total. What's going to happen at what hour, I don't have yet. What I do know is that we're going to do things like every hour to start the hour, I'm going to have a YOLO roll, right? We're going to do things like a few of us guys that think we can throw the dice a little bit, we're going to have a throw off, maybe a couple throw offs. We're going to have a pass the rack. And then I've got interviews scheduled and all that kind of stuff. So I'm working out times now, who's going to be on with me when. And for example, Steve Haltham, Heavy Haltham, is going to be part of the show. He can't be in Vegas because he's in Vegas the week before, but he's going to join us virtually. And we'll do some betting and talking and interviewing. Ed Robinson can't be there, but we'll talk virtually. So I got to figure out when those guys would like to have their slots. When can we talk to them and bring them in? And we're going to sit, in the Casino Quest couch, with the brick wall and all that stuff, just like David does. So, sorry, excuse me. So it'll be, like I said, it'll be, schedule will be put out once I know who's going to be there when. That's what we're waiting for. So I'm working on that. We have lots of ideas. But that's it. Make sure you get with Michael Feldman if you want to come. Talk to Michael. His email is here on screen. He's also in our Discord. He's going to get us all rooms at Harrah's on his host discount. If you have a host, great. If not, Michael's a great guy. Works hard to get us good rates and everything else in the room. He's going to be there too. He's actually a Golden Touch instructor, so he'll be there at the event and work with us a little bit on shooting and that kind of thing too. So that's the kind of event it's going to be. It's going to be just 24 hours of straight up craps. It's going to be awesome. All right, now we can get into the other meat of the day, which is this whole idea of come betting versus place betting. So let me go ahead and switch the screens for you here. We'll do this and then we'll do this. And hopefully you can see my table pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and turn the light on back there so we can see it. And I really want to talk. This is going to take me all week to get through this, by the way. I think it's going to be one of these deals where I can't do this topic justice in one day. And frankly, having flown late last night, I don't feel like doing any math today. So we're just going to talk in big generalities about how this works. Okay, so let's take a look at the differences between the two betting styles. And I really want to focus first on the come bet. Now, the pass line and the come bet are the exact same bet in terms of their sequence, right? However, the pass line has this interesting extra twist to it. So let's go ahead and get out here. And I'm going to show you, first of all, kind of how the odds work, right? So first, the pass line bet is like this basic bet. And you all know this, right? That you're watching. It's a basic bet that basically says when the puck is off, the shooter's going to roll some number that's up in here, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, or 10. And then roll it again. I bet you can. This is saying, I bet you can roll one of these and then roll it a second time. Essentially, that's what this bet is saying in the future. While the puck is off, though, while the puck is off, that's a one roll bet. It's basically a hop on the 7 and 11 at this point, right? So if you roll a 7 or an 11, and the 7, as we know, has 6 ways to roll, right? There's a one, put it here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ways to roll the 7, and there's 2 ways to roll that 11. That's 8 ways to win on one roll. While the puck is off, 8 ways to win this bet. Now you can lose it on the 2, on the 3, or on the 12. So there's 4 ways to lose it. So you got it. If you look at the count the chips here, you have a 2 to 1 advantage, right? 8 ways to win, 4 ways to lose, reduce the fractions, 2 to 1 chance to win. That's great. And again, it's one of those times, the rare times in the casino where you are the heavy favorite, right? You're a 2 to 1 favorite. This is like literally, this is, I don't know, pick a team. This is the Eagles. This is the Eagles playing a college football team, right? You're a 2 to 1 favorite, and you're not giving up any odds. You're getting paid even money. So if that happens, you're here. You're getting full payment if that bet wins on that one roll. Now it's a short-term bet, so it's a one roll deal, but it's heavy. That advantage is heavy. Now what happens though is this: let's say you don't win this bet, and we get a point as to that. Let's say it's a 9. Your point's going to be a 9. Now what happens is this. I'll take this away. Now your bet has changed from that one roll super advantage to a perpetual disadvantage. You're now ugly. You're now upside down. You have the same 6 ways that were helping you before. Now you're losers. 6 ways to lose that bet. And on the 9, there's only 4 ways to win it. 2, 3, 4. Right? You've got the 5, 4, the 4, 5, the 6, 3, and the 3, 6. There's 4 ways to win it, 6 ways to lose it. Now you're the dog. You're the underdog, and you're getting paid even money as an underdog. And if you know sports betting, that's a bad deal. That's like betting on Appalachian State to beat the Eagles and getting paid even money for it. Where when you're betting the dog, you should be getting more money than what you bet, right? That's the thing. So this bet transforms from a one roll super advantage to a perpetual disadvantage. While now you're fighting the 9 against the 7 with this bet until something happens. Either this gets hit or that gets hit. And you're going to lose this bet 3 out of every 5 times if there's a resolution. So when I look at resolutions and probabilities, it's always about what are the possibilities, right? I can win. Let's say you put all these bets, the 6 6s and the 4 9s into a bag, and you jumbled the bag up and reached in and grabbed one, right? You're going to end up losing this bet 3 out of every 2 times you put your hand in the bag. So it's a rough deal. It becomes the best bet, turns into one of the worst bets in the casino. Literally the worst bet in the casino is right here, where you're getting paid even money as the dog. This is the reason why Vince will tell you that the come ladder sucks, right? Because I get one roll of advantage in here, and then it travels up, and then it's the worst bet in the freaking house. This bet sucks. The flat pass line bet or the flat come bet, which I'll talk about in a minute, sucks. It's the worst bet in the house. The only way to make this bet any better is to drop the odds on it. Now, this bet actually gets worse over time. Okay, not the pass line bet. We'll talk about the come bet here in a minute, but there's a second phase to this thing where it gets worse still. Okay, this bet progressively gets worse as we go. Now, let's take a look at that from the lens of a come better, because there's a difference in here. Okay, the come bet, I'll leave that out there. Actually, we'll put a new bet in the come. I'll put a green. I'll put a black chip in the come. Doesn't matter what color it is. The come bet works just like this bet does, but it works when the puck is on. And effectively, the way I teach this is this: the come bet has its own virtual little puck, right? So right now, the come bet, there's no point. Technically speaking, the puck is off for that bet. So while this bet is quote unquote coming out, you're off for a second. Okay, that's what's happening. Can you see that right here? Yeah, that's what's happening here. So for the come bet, as we roll the dice, let's roll and see what we get. We get a 6. The come bet now travels to the 6, and now it's on. So picture like the big puck works the pass line, the little puck works the come bet as it comes in here. And that's a good way to visualize what's going on here. Now this bet here, again, right here for one roll, super advantage. Boom, 2 to 1 ways to win, right? Everything else is not essential or non-factor. We come up in here. Now we are the worst bet in the house. We're $100. On the 6, we're the underdog. We're a 5-6 underdog right here, and we're getting paid even money, and that is terrible. What's even worse about this bet, the come bet, the worst part about the come bet is this. Shooter rolls, let's get a 4 and a 5. Let's get a 9, right? Shooter rolls a 9. Puck goes off. They made their point. The worst bet in the house down here gets paid, even up. Puck's off. The problem is this bet is still on. Okay, there's no turn in this bet off. It's called a contract bet. There's no turn in this bet off. It's on. Now, down here, that one roll bet, remember the off button? You're in a super advantaged position here. This guy here is now big disadvantage again. He can't turn himself off. He's now facing the come out roll. That 7 on the come out roll now costs him the $100. He can't turn it off. So you have this super advantage when you're here, and you're disadvantaged up here until the next 7 or your number. There's no way to not fight the 7 with that bet. You can't pull it down. So come bets become even worse because they got to then face the come out roll. At least the pass line, when you lose your 7, you're back out here again at your advantage. So there's like kind of the sequence of it. Now, to turn this bet from, and let me make sure I explain this right too. The house edge, we'll talk about the house edge tomorrow. I'm going to show you the math of the house edge tomorrow. But the house edge of this bet, even as shitty as it is, even as awful as that bet is when the puck's on a number and you got no odds back there, it's still a 1.4% house edge. It's still the lowest house edge in the casino, or the second lowest one to the don't pass. That's a great edge, and you get the edge because of the one roll come out. The one roll come out advantage, it basically blankets over the garbage payout that you get in that position right there. Right, this is garbage worst bet. It's blanketed by the one roll super advantage that you have. That's why the house edge is low on these bets. But once you get a number established, you're screwed. You're kind of stuck here. So the casino will allow you to do what they call taking odds. Depends on your casino how many odds you can take. Let's just assume we're at a 3, 4, 5 table. And you can take, in this case, up to 4 times your flat bet. And matter of fact, I'm gonna do 5x odds. We're gonna make it easy. 5x odds. I'm gonna take 5 times. My casino is here in Seattle. We can do 5 or 10. 5 times odds. What that means is you're making an extra bet. So after the point's been established, you can say, I'm so confident that 9's coming. I'm gonna put odds on it. We're gonna add odds to that bet. And what this does is these odds, instead of paying the garbage flat rate that bet has, the 1-to-1. Odds pay true. Odds pay true like they should. This bet as the underdog gets paid 1-to-1. These odds as the underdog get paid based on the probability. So here on the 5 or 9, you get paid 3-2. So that they would pay 3 greens to 2 greens. You get $75 for your odds. You still get the crappy 1-to-1 on your flat bet. The flat bet still sucks. There's no change in how crappy that flat bet is, but the odds really increase or decrease rather the house edge. Now, does that make it a good bet? No, it doesn't make it a good bet. It makes it a good payout. It makes it a fair payout, but doesn't make it a good bet, okay? Betting the 9 and only the 9 against the 7 is not a good idea. Let's get that straight. If you're gonna pick a number to bet, I say you only get one thing to put down there. You're not gonna pick the 9 or the 10 against the 7. You just wouldn't do it. Doesn't make this a better bet. It makes the payout fair, okay? And even then, the aggregate payout of these two, what do you see the difference? Okay, because I could elect, let's take these down, I'll put them in front so we have access to them, but I could bet the 9 for $60 if I wanted to, right? I could put the same $60 and let me just place the 9, please, right? Who do you think gets paid more in this situation, right? You'll be surprised. Down there, it's gonna get paid $75 for the odds, and $10 for your flat bet. That's $85 total. Up here on the 9, it's $84, right? It's $75, $84 up here. So for $1 difference at 5 times odds, there's $1 in difference. At most casinos though, you're gonna be at 2, 3, 4 times odds, okay? And at 4 times odds, you can't put 50, you can put 40 back here. And then this number actually changes where these bets become better payouts than the pass line bets, only at 5x odds. And again, you got to be willing to say, well, I'm going to drop 60 bucks out there on this number out of the gate, right? Which is kind of a tall order. It's interesting. I think these bets are interesting to look at. So anyway, that's kind of the overview. Now let's look at this edge thing, because again, the house edge, I find it interesting. And again, you got to be at 5x odds to make a difference. If we look at the same bet at 2x level, you'll see that there's a little bit of a disadvantage here, because at the 4x level, you'd be able to put 40 bucks back here. Okay, most casinos in Vegas, that's what you're putting. I'll lay it so you can see it. There's 10 flat and 40 in odds, right? $50 total. Okay, if I put 50 bucks up here in the 9 as a place bet, oh, again, these greens here represent, I'll put them back here, number of ways you can win the 9. So what does the payment look like now? Okay, what is the payment? The payment looks like this. It's $10 on your flat bet always, right? Shitty payment down there. 80 or 40, it pays 3 to 2, right? So you put 40 down there, excuse me. The way you break it down is there's 2 20s and 40. So you get paid 3 20s, so you get paid 60 bucks, right? And that's how that works out. So you get paid 60 down there. So your total payment is this, 50, 60, 70 bucks. Up here on the 9, let's put the same level of risk. Let's put 50 bucks in that 9, okay? And what does 50 bucks in the 9 pay? It pays 70 bucks. That's interesting, isn't it? Right? What's the difference up here? Right? And this you can take down. You can take a hit, press it up. You have flexibility in these bets up here in the box. There's a little difference to it. And I think people feel like they have to do this to get the right payout. But you have to work a little harder with the odds to make the payouts work. And that's part of the problem with this thing, is that until you're betting max odds, you're not getting it. Most people can't afford this, right? What you see with most people, and I saw it in chat this morning, well, I'm only going to do it with 1x odds because that's what my bankroll affords. Well, let's look at that. Let's look at the payout difference, okay? Let's look at a $10 bet down here with single odds, which is what you see a lot. How often do you see it in the casino? 10 and 10 backing it up, okay? Cool. What does that pay? $10 flat, the shittiest bet in the house, and $15 on your single odds. Your total win, 25 bucks. If I put the same 20 bucks as a place bet, no, I'll spread them out so you can see them. The same 20 bucks as a place bet in the 9, what does it pay? It pays more, it pays $28, right? So until you're up at max odds, the place bets actually pay you better. And even at max odds, the place bets pay the same, and you don't have that worry of having to fight the come out 7 with a contract bet like this guy here. There's no need to fight the 7 on the come out. So there's an advantage to place betting, I think, payment wise. Unless you're paying full odds back here, you're foolish. So, and let's clear everything out. We'll get all the chips out of the way. I'll do it again, and we'll look at it from the eyes of a come better, because come betting, I do a lot of this too, and I want you to see kind of how it looks from this lens. Let's take a $10 bet. $10 come bet that goes to the 6, like we said, okay? Point was a 9, shooter 7's out, puck goes off. Let's say that you had, for example, single odds behind the 6, like so. I'll put them down here so you can see them. Single odds behind the 6. Now, of course, the odds get turned off for the come out roll. And again, this is that situation where you can't turn this guy off. You had the advantage here, you got here, you're still upside down, right? You're fighting the 7. This bet here is at risk for the 7. So you can still lose the 10 bucks. They will give you back your odds on a 7. But let's just look at the payment here on the 6, and we'll do the same thing. You have a $20 6 here. That's going to get paid 10 flat and 12 on the back. So 22 bucks is what you get paid there. Now, there's no such thing as a $20 place bet on the 6. The best you can do is an $18 place bet to get close to that. And 18 pays how much? 21. So for 18 bucks, you get paid 21. For 20, you're getting paid 22. Huge difference, right? Less risk, more, and almost the same reward for these place bets. One thing you can do, and I think this is my advice to you, and hopefully this gets heated well. If you're going to do come bets or pass line bets with single odds, you're better off not doing it and just placing the number after it rolls. You can actually place bets like the come bets, right? You can treat these things the same way. In other words, let a point get established, an 8. So if you're on the pass line, now you go out with your odds, whatever your odds are going to be, 15 bucks in odds. Now you say, okay, now I'll place the 8, right? So just like this person, you need the number to roll twice to get paid. You just bypass the come out roll, let it come out once. You'll get paid better in this situation when you're not betting full odds. So I think that's where I come down to on this thing is, this is a great bet because of the super advantage here during the come out phase. It's a bad bet with the odds unless you're taking full odds. And I think that's the thing that people, I think Victor has said this in chat before, and it's important to note this, right? Full odds only. It's either no odds or full odds to me. Like that's why the come ladder has no odds to it. If you're not playing full odds, you're better off placing the number. And if you want to play the rhythm of the come better, just let the roll happen. In other words, like this, you got one guy coming for 25 bucks. Let's get a number, it's 9. He comes to the 9, you just come on out with a place bet on the 9, right? You didn't get the advantage here that he had, but now you're getting paid, he's getting paid 1, you're getting paid 35 for the same exact risk. Same risk, same timing, right? You didn't get paid on the 9 the first time, you waited for it, you placed it, you're at $10 advantage here on the same level of risk. And if the shooter makes their point, guess what? Your bet's off. Their bet is on. You're not at risk. You can not sweat the come outs. You're off. He's on. There's so many advantages to this style of play versus the come betting style of play, unless you're doing full odds. And I can't stress that enough. Tomorrow, I'm going to break the odds down for you. We'll do a little math equation tomorrow. I'm going to show you how the odds on these bets really change things. And again, in this situation here, like a $10 come bet with $15 in odds, same risk, still better payout in here, right? Your payout in here, you're still ahead of the game on the place bet for the same level of risk. So that's my story. I'm just want you to understand that piece of it. I think the rhythm of this is important. I think that the big thing with the edge on these come bets and the place bets only matters. The edge only matters. It only matters. Let me say it again. If you have max odds, you don't have max odds. You're just place the number. You're better off and you have flexibility. You don't have the ability to lose that bet in a contract basis where it's on the come out. So that's kind of the thing. As far as the first breakdown and how all this shit works, that's what I wanted to get through today. So I wanted to make sure we understood that. So let me go over here. Let's see. Dusted one. He's going to post a video today to play the pass line off a single pass line and a single come bet. You're saying that's good. Let's see. 1.4. Right. And again, Victor, and I say this to everybody. You cannot. Let me go back here. You cannot make your decision based solely on house edge. Okay. And I'll make this case again tomorrow with the math. Let me get back to the other screen so you can see me. See my lovely face over here. Let's go here. Can you see me? Oh my God, what happened over there? Hello, where are you? Sorry, I set that screen up earlier today and didn't realize it was gonna be so much. Let's go back over here. Actually, I'll go back to this one. There we go. That was weird. Sorry about that. Again, I think the house edge is an important thing to know what the edge is, right? House edge doesn't make something a good bet. And I think that's important. I think a lot of people get sucked into that. And a lot of books have been written about the house edge being the way to play. The house edge doesn't mean shit on a lost bet, right? And you got to remember that if you're going to depend on the dice to put your chip where the dice want them to go, right? You got the dice go to the 4 because that's the person happened to roll. That's a bad bet, right? A bet on the 4 against the 7 that you cannot take down is a bad bet. Even though overall that bet had a low house edge, it's not a winnable bet sometimes. And if it doesn't win, house edge don't matter. The house edge only matters when you win on a bet. Trying to lower the house edge, if you can, with the free odds, maxed out, makes good sense if your bankroll supports it. If your bankroll does not support max odds, you're chasing your tail. You're not going to ever get the house edge or your win rate where you need it to be. I'm going to run a Windcrafts experiment this week where I'm going to show the flat bet, just a pass line flat bet, a pass line with 1x odds, a pass line with max odds, and then a place better, bypassing the roll and just placing the number for the same risk level. And we're going to get an idea of win percentage in terms of not financial, but number of times we hit or don't hit goal with that. I'm going to run that out because I think it's important for us to see it. So there it is. That's the run up to it here. I'm going to go check questions, see if there's anything else that I'm missing in. I think that's been asked already. I think you're saying this, Victor, and this might be an answer to an earlier question about the come out sequence. And I said that earlier too, just to reiterate the point. Actually, it's probably worth looking at the table again. Let me change back over here. I think it's important to see it. The super advantage that you've got down here cannot be understated. And the reason why the house edge is low on these bets is not because of the odds. Remember, you have a 1.41 house edge, which means the casino expects to take about 1.5% or so of your money over the course of billions of rolls on that flat bet. The flat bet itself, as shitty as it is when you're here, it's as good as it is when you're here. When the puck is off, 2-to-1 advantage, even money, cannot be understated how great of a payout that is. The only thing better than that is when you're here on the don't pass and there's a point on. Again, you're the dog. You're the big dog. You got the advantage when a point's on and you're getting paid even money, right? This is to me the best bet in the casino because the pass line with the puck off is a 2-to-1, but it's basically one roll. When the puck's on and you're on the don't, now you're flat on the 7 until it happens. This is fantastic right here. But anyway, I think what you're saying, Victor, is very important to understand. The advantage you get in this phase is the reason why, because 1 out of 6 times you're going to win on that bet. That's the reason why the edge is so low. Once you get up here, you lose the advantage, and in fact, you're in such a disadvantaged position that you're basically screwed. And the casinos know this. Why do you think casinos let you have free odds? They don't give you free odds because they're nice. They aren't letting you do this and paying you, the true odds because they're good people. They know 2 things are going to happen. Either you're going to drop the full odds out there and you're going to be on the 10 and you're going to drop $50, and sure, you're going to win that sometimes, but most of the time they're going to take your $50. They know that. They also know that a lot of people can't afford the full odds and they're going to do this, right? If the point's 10 and you got $20 on it, you got 10 flat and 10 in odds, look at the difference in payout here, right? $10 there, $20 there, $30 in wins. If I put $20 out here, that's $38. That's an $8 difference, right? That's 25, 35, $38 up in here. And if I'm buying it, it's 39 for 1, right? Think about that. Look at the difference. That's almost $10 in difference. For most people whose bankroll says, oh, free odds, it's a great bet. I'm going to take 1x odds because that's what I can afford. That's ludicrous. Doing that, you may as well throw your money away, right? If you're going to put 10 and 10, just put 20 here. Your payout is so much better if that's all you're going to do. Now, if you get to 3x odds, now we're talking. You go full odds down here, that pays 30, pays 60, plus 10 is 70, okay? Now, here's an interesting thing too, because look at that. 30 in the back, which is your 3x odds, that pays $60. Your flat bet pays 10, which makes your total win $70. If I put $30, $40 here on the, and I buy the 10 for 40, guess what that buy 10 pays? It pays $70 minus VIG. Hell yeah, right? It pays $80 minus VIG. My bad, 75, $80 minus VIG, minus 2. So it pays $78 versus 70. Even at full odds, placing or buying the number for the same risk level, 10 plus 30 and 40 here, you're better off placing it. Again, the reason for that being a great house edge is the first roll. It's not because of the odds. Don't get sucked in. Don't let any book you read tell you that the pass line or come bet with odds is good because of the odds. It's not good because of the odds. It's good because of the first roll. And I think I can't say that loudly or clearly enough. Let's go back here. Oh God, did it again. I can't say it clearly enough. That's only a good bet, or only a good. It's only a good house edge because of the first roll. The odds have nothing to do with it. The odds are there. They're a suck job. They're there because they know they're going to make so much money on those odds. That's the because people aren't playing full odds. And even with max odds, 4 and 10 on a 3x table, 3, 4, 5 table, max odds are still worse than place betting. In terms of $40 to $40 bet size, you're going to get paid more on the place. No, you got to know your numbers. You got to know your numbers. And if you're going to play that way, play that way. If you're going to do come betting with all the max odds, it's a fine way to play, but it's not a good bet, right? It's a good payout, but it's not a good bet. And there you go. That's all I got. Hopefully that answers questions. Let's see. Tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow I'm going to do some rollouts with this. I'll do some win craps with it. I want to actually do the math equations with you so you can see the math and how it works. And the comparisons and win craps I think will help us out. It'll really help us look at the differences in when things win. But again, it's largely a bankroll decision for a lot of people. And because it's a bankroll decision, the casino knows that, and you're getting paid worse. If you do a $10 pass line and $10 in odds and the points of 4, you're giving money back. You're literally, that great house edge that you got, you pissed it away because you're getting paid worse than you would have got paid if you just placed the number for $20. And there it is. All right, folks, that's it, 9 o'clock. Oh, it's almost 9 o'clock. You know what? We have 15 minutes. Want to roll some dice? Let's roll some dice. I'm making an educated call here. We're going to roll dice. We're going to go back to the table. Let's roll it. Can you see the whole table? Good. Let's do it. Let's do a little dual bankroll thing here. I got 15. I didn't realize I had that much time. I thought I was talking more than I was. Let's do this. Let's give 2 players some money. And let's just get a little rhythm roll going here and see what happens with them, huh? I'm gonna fix my rack. I'm gonna take this, I don't know why I got, from Friday Follies. I was like, why is there $20,000 in my rack? From Friday Follies. So let's have guy in the front here. We're gonna make two players. We'll give them both $500. Let's see, we're gonna do, and I'll do $25 bets. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think Jeremy did the same thing kind of yesterday on his show. There's $100 or 500 in green. Let me get another 500 in green here. I'm almost out of chips. All right. Player in the front. Come better. We'll do, you want to do come bets or pass line bets? Let's just do come bets. We'll bypass the come out roll. We'll do just come bets, and we'll do a straight up same bet level where I can make it work, and we'll do the odds, and this guy will place it. Okay, and that's it. We're just gonna do a rhythm. And I'll show you what I mean by the rhythm of this thing. Let's come out to a 4. Point's gonna be a 4. Now, what I'm gonna do here with the come better, he's gonna do $10 flats. Okay, there's 25 for a quarter. $10 in the come. Wherever this goes to, he's going to take, he'll take $50 in odds every time. So it's always 10 plus 50, $60 every time. This guy back here is going to place the number for $60 every single time. So the same total risk, but the difference will be, and we'll just do one number. The difference will be this guy's got the advantage. The house edge is coming to him right now. Okay. Nice advantage on that 7 if it comes. If it doesn't come, well, it does come, so he actually wins an extra $10. Cool. There's the advantage to come betting, right? You get paid flat. Now, I'll tell you this. If you're doing this kind of a system, you want to be as low as you can here and as big as you can on the odds. Like at a $10 table, I wouldn't put more than $10 out here, right? Because you want to have the lowest flat possible, because a flat bet is the worst bet. It was an 11. The odds are where it's at for this guy. That's the home run. There's a 7. So if we're playing pass line, we're winning good here. But I want to show the come bet as the it's a better visual for this experiment. We're on the 5, coming with 10. Let's see if we can't get to a number here. Or else it's oh my God, come on, John. Way to make your point, dude. Way to make your point. Hey, look at that, he's winning. He's already ahead. by 20 bucks. Fantastic. Let's bring this back. Go home at goal. Another come out set. God, look at all the sevens. Come out 7. I'm not doing roll tracker today because we're not going to be here very long. All right, on the 4, come with 10. Let's try and get a number here, and then we'll see the rhythm. Hopefully. Are you freaking kidding me? These damn dice. Another 7 out. So we're going to get paid right. This is 3 7 outs, all the come out 7s. This guy's literally making bank right now. He's making my point for me. That super advantage in here should never be understated. That's such a big deal. There's the 8 coming out with 10. Look at how much he's made. He made three payments in there because of the come outs. All right, so here's what happens now. This is an interesting thing on the rhythm of this thing. So he's gonna go to the 8 with that come out. 8 was the point. It's gonna come off. Right? He's gonna go to the 8 and he's gonna put 16 odds, okay? And I'll just put them next to the bet instead of on top. I'll put them next to it so you can see them. This other player is also gonna go out with a $60 8. We're gonna get his change. He's gonna place it for 60. Get his nickels. Now, we're gonna play this the right way, quote unquote the right way, where this guy, his odds will be off, right? When the puck is off, the odds are off. So if we happen to roll a come out 7, the difference between these two players, this guy's automatically off. His bets are not at risk. There's out there, but he's not at risk. This guy's got 10 bucks at risk all the time. The $50, not so much risk. Now, when I play this way, I run my odds out. I leave my odds on. But we're gonna do it, quote unquote, by the book. So odds are off. We come out to a 5, so he survives the come out roll. Before, the come out roll was his friend. Now he has to survive it. Now here we are. We're both on the 6, okay? Same risk, different reward is coming for these two players, but the same basic level of risk here, okay? And again, this guy bypassed the advantage to get a flat bet. This guy took the advantage to get his flat with big odds. He also now has to fight the 7 on the come out rolls. If I have to roll a 5, he's always got 10 bucks at risk, which is a part of this that's unseen, I think, as far as comparing these two. There's a 6. I'm just gonna roll quickly here to get to either an 8 or a 7 or a 5. Another 6. Hope we hit the 8. It'd be kind of fun to start getting these things to hit and pay off. There's an 11 yo. There's another 6. Wow, the 6. Why didn't I roll a 6? Come better should be on the 6, right? There's the 7 out. All right, so they both lose the same amount of money. No difference with either guy. I wish we would have lost in the come out, but it's okay. Here we go. Let's do it again. 8, of course, right? There's the 8. My God. Let's do it here. Coming out, bypassing the come out. Now, what I'm trying to highlight here is the nature of people saying, oh, the number's gotta hit twice for you to win, right? And that's true and not true. And I think let's talk about that, because the number has to hit twice for you to win is not true. The number has to show twice for the bet to resolve. But you can win right now without some number showing twice. Let's roll out and we'll hopefully get a number, and then we can talk through what I mean by that. Frick, there's a 7. But this is a good example of that. The number doesn't have to roll twice for you to win. You can win right now. You can win right there on the come out, which is why these bets are powerful. Right? That's where your low edge comes, because I've won. We started out with a quarter, right? I've got 10, 20, 30 bucks in wins sitting here from that first quarter that we put out there. This is great. Your house edge is low because I've won 3 times on that come out. That's gonna cover the flat bet losses that are gonna happen. You're gonna lose that flat bet more often than not. Your come out wins here blanket those losses in there, and that's where your edge comes into play. That's exactly the reason why and how that's calculated. Let's get a new point, and we'll do her again. There's a 5. 3 and a 2. On the 5, coming out, looking for a 7, waiting for the roll. They're both gonna wait for the dice to decide what's gonna happen. Can I get something besides the 7 this time? Oh, good, I do. It's an 8. Now they both go to the 8. Combat travels. Here come the odds. The other guy is just gonna drop 60 bucks right on it. So they both waited for the dice to decide. They both have the same amount of risk. Let's see what happens when the dice roll. There's a 7. God, I cannot get a rhythm today. No difference, they both lose 70 bucks. okay? But remember, this guy lost 70 bucks. Let me put it back out. He lost this. He lost 70 bucks. But previously he had 110 out here, right? The super advantage here blankets this loss. It's like, yeah, he lost the 10 bucks, but he won 10 bucks earlier. So really, if you think of it in those terms, it's the 50 that's really the thing that's at risk, right? It's not so much the flat bet, because the flat bet ends up being kind of a wash over time with the come out wins and the come out and the point losers. This bet here is literally a tie for the that's the 1.4%. This bet is a tie for the casino. This is where you're making your money if you catch the home run. Let's try it one more time. I want to be able to get one of these bets to pay for themselves. There's an 11. This should also showcase another 11. How hard this is. If you're just a line better and getting one bet to pay off, there's a 7. Line bettors are making huge bank today. All right, there's a 10. On the 10, coming out. Let's get something besides big red. Cool, we're on the 9. That goes to the 9. Here comes 50 in odds. Here comes 60 bucks. I gotta get change. There's 60 with a little bit of change. Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. There's a 6. There's an 8. There's a midnight. There's the aces. I want to see it. I'd like to see a 10 if we can get one. Let the puck come off, and then we'll be able to talk about what happens next. There's the 8. Man, this way of playing is like watching freaking paint dry, isn't it? There's the hard 4. There's a yo. Come on. Something fun. 3. Wow. There she is. Good. We hit a 10. That's great. Hit the 10. Now, again, this is where the house edge will start rearing its head. This guy's off. 60 bucks, not at risk. This guy's got 50 bucks, not at risk, but 10 bucks is at risk in this phase. Point, the puck's off. Your flat bet is the contract piece. That's the part that's at risk. And again, we got paid a bunch of times in here. You're going to lose a bunch of times in here, right? So those will become the wash, and this becomes your risk level. Here we go. Let's get a come out something. We got a 6. And again, the come out points don't matter here at all because we're not playing the pass line. I'm just doing one come bet just to give you a sense of the rhythm of the roll. And here we are again. The point gets hit. Once again, no risk, a little bit of risk. Excuse me. And there's your 7 on the come out. The come out 7, he gets his odds back. He loses his bet. This guy here will pull back because, again, he's going to play it. Well, I guess you could look at it like this. If you're going to let the dice decide for you, the 60 bucks should still be out there, I suppose. But he's going to play it like a come better would play and just kind of chase the roll. So let's get a point. Maybe. There's a 3. There's a 6. Back on the 6. So again, we're going to let the come better come first. Let the dice decide where this is going to go. It's a loss. It's our first come loser. This guy's actually down money now. There's a 4. So the comeback goes to the 4. So here's going to be the situation where you go 4, gets 10 and 50 in odds. This guy's just going to go out there with 60 bucks. Just place the 4 for 60 or buy it. We'll buy it for 60. Okay. And that buy bet will incur $3 in VIG if this happens to win. Okay. So again, we're out here for 10 plus 50 and 60 flat on a place bet or a buy bet. Let's see if we can't get the 4. If we don't get a 4, I'm going to pay it out anyway so you can see the difference. There's an 8. There's another 8. And again, one player used the advantage to get here. The other player just waited for it to happen and chose it. Again, they both let the dice decide where their bet goes. One guy has an advantage for a short time, and now he's at a disadvantage. Let me see a 4. Frick, it's a 7. All right, let's pretend it was a 4. Let's pretend that was a 4. So I want you to see the payouts here. Okay, what's going to happen back here is 50 in odds pays 100, and 10 pays 10. So this player had $60 at risk on the 4. Had the 4 rolled, he would have profited $110. Okay, let's put it right there, 110, and of course his bets come back into the front. The other guy that had the $60 on the buy 4, he gets paid 120. 60 pays 120 minus a little bit of vig, $3. He gets paid 118 or 117 versus 110 for the same bet, the same risk, right? Both players would let the dice decide where their bets go. Both players had the same risk. The enjoyment of that one roll super advantage here gets negated when the puck's off and your flat bet is still sitting there, right? At a 3-4-5 table, the casinos know this, right? There's a reason why 3-4-5 tables are everywhere. It's not because the math is easy. The math is easy for us to calculate our odds, right? It's very simple. There's no thought involved, but the casinos know that even at max odds, the place better still has the advantage, and the max odds, that flat bet becomes the risk piece. The flat bet becomes the anchor on that bet, not the producer. The producer is the odds, but you got to win the bet for it to matter. So if you want to let the dice decide for you, and you're going to bet at the same level at a 3-4-5 table, you're better off placing the number, frankly. So there it is. Yeah, right. The reason why I pretended it didn't happen was because I wanted to make the payment. I wanted to do the payment in front of you just so you can see what the difference in money was. It would have been nice if I rolled a 4, but there you go. All right. 3-bet Molly can cover the traveled line bets. Sure, right? Because you've got 3 flat bets out there. Let me get back to the other screen. Because you've got the 3 flat bets that are coming through the come that have that advantage for the one roll. There's no debating that, right? That's certainly a thing. And the free odds on the back, though, the thing is the free odds at a 3-4-5 table don't cover the place bets, right? Place bets pay better at a 3-4-5 table. It just is what it is. If you get to a 5x or a 10x odds table, now it's different. Now it's different. And you're right, the buy bets have a high house edge, but again, if you look at like what Garrison says, the return on investment of that bet, $10 flat, $50 in odds versus a $60 place bet, the place bets pay better in that situation across the board. The place bets outperform based on risk reward. But again, you're bypassing the come out phase. And the come out, as you saw, how many times the come out today would have won on the pass line another 7 or 8 bets. Like that advantage, like I said, I can't understate the advantage. It's a huge advantage out there. But if you're doing low flats and high odds, that advantage that you get on those low flats isn't enough to cover all the losses. It's pretty tough. All right, here we go. Now I gotta go to work. It's 9 o'clock. That was fun. I'll do a better rollout there tomorrow. Like we'll do some win crafts. I'll break the math down for you, so we'll have some fun with this. But I don't want the conversation to go away. I'm not really making a judgment call on either one of them. I think there's a place for both, and I think there's a time for both. I think that they both can be good bets. But again, the bankroll has to decide that. If you can't afford the full odds, going out with 1x or 2x odds is ludicrous. That's why cruise ships make so much damn money, because the 1x, 2x odds will crush you. You're giving it up. Go to the place bets. All right, I'm out, y'all. Love you. See you in the morning. Another daily paycheck at 7 o'clock. Back in here tomorrow. And there we go. Y'all have a great Tuesday, and I'll see you tonight for the big battle royale. So have a great day. I'll see you later on.